Hi everybody, it's Colin here from Woodthorp International. Well, we're going to go from this nice green lush area to something a little bit different. So I hope you enjoy. Right, so I've got the static grass on. I put the trees in, I put bushes in, anything, twigs, that kind of thing. I've put a building in. Because I just needed to have a building and a practice of how I was going to do the rooftop, couple of cars, a track, and I have marked the track where they might have got in before it snowed again. What I do need is a nice four-wheel drive vehicle, and these cars, only go out when it's a bit less deep kind of thing. But I've got the snow on, and I've got it on the bank, and I put this along the edge just to disguise the baseboard as such, this green bit, and I just thought if I put that on, and also it just captures the bit of snow on the top. And what I've tried to do, if you look at, say, this bit here and the sum up there, I've tried to make it so the snow looks like it's rolled down if there's been a bit of wind, and caused it to make a roll effect, and different shapes here. Instead of rolls, I've just done sort of, well, I'm not going to say snowballs, but more rolls than a flat roll, different bits round. But now what I've got to do is the track, and I've got an idea what I'm going to do. Is it going to work? I'll have to let you know. It may take a couple of layers, because what I can't do is have it that thick. So the trains from rolling. Snow stops play. Because in Japan, snow does not stop play. The trains still run. It doesn't matter if it's the wrong type of snow. They get it cleared and they still run with snow on the ground. I've watched many videos. Well, I think this is 4 days later, and I would say up to now putting snow on the track has been the hardest job on the model railway. Even the stuff I've had to learn new, like the electronics, is easy compared to this snow. As you saw, the snow in general was down except for that track, but it's just a whole new world is putting it on the track. It is only fine, as you can imagine, just looking at, say, some of this here, it is fine, but not when it comes to the track. And on code 55 it may be slightly easier on code 80, but this 55 is so much harder. It was hard for me to work it out. Half of the problem was it not sticking, and that's usually using PVA, layering, basing glue, track ballast glue, and then sealing it so it doesn't move. Now, The next problem after that is getting the trains to run, because there's so much stuff on it. It's unreal, because you can't just cover the rail tops. So that gets all the glue on and all the scenic cement. I tried spraying it. The spraying with the Woodland Scenic spray bottle, that was a no-go on the track. Only from the point of view, it just made big splodges. Even though it's quite fine, I had to get a mister in the end. So what I got was one of these, and they call them mister. And they're very clever. I mean, you would think there was a battery in it to make it work, because when you squeeze the handle, it keeps spraying after you've squeezed it. Now I'm hoping you'll be able to see this, but you should be able to hear it. Try and get it in. Don't know if you can see that. That is really fine. And for doing that snow, because the snow is so light, it was perfect. Absolutely perfect. And from a distance, that's what it looks like, that first scene. So I'm very pleased. But again, it's just gone everywhere. Even it was affecting trains over there and on that line. A little bit over there, that line was affected, but that's right next to the snow. So, you know, even though it had the tape on, it had masking tape. And I put masking tape on these before, you know, I did this big area, and then took it off naturally to do that. But what I wanted to do was get some bits of track where you could see the sleepers, like in that area, and some not. And I even tried, it's taken me 5 separate goes and then cleaning it off. I even tried to put a little ridge down the middle with PVA thicker glue. I made it go a bit thicker by cooling it down, and it then lost, because if you didn't know, if frost gets to PVA, it say goes off, as in it won't work. And it was just catching the right temperature. I wanted this little ridge and have more ballast and sleepers showing closer to the rail, but there's only 9mm to play with in between. It's less than 8 in between, and it's just, God, I thought, what have I said I'm going to do? But generally, I don't know if I can get it any better on the track. It's running, and with Japan also, the skirts, the sides are right down to the ground nearly, hence why the bullet trains, and it's all to do with wind. But that has taken a lot of doing. I think OOHO will be easier as well. It's a nice scene where we've got different levels and even different countries running past the snow scene. will be coming into the station area with that. It's not stopping. So I think that's okay, is that? I'm quite happy with that. And I've started doing some more rocks. I made a big batch and started to stick them down, and I've from about there all the way around I've done the static grass, and I've stuck some on in that area. So I've had a good week, and I've run trains. That's the main thing. Yeah, so that was good fun, that. If you'd hit the like, please, and if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I did very well last week with subscribers. 7 new people, and I thank you for joining and watching what I'm doing. And hit the bell, because I have one out every week and it'll tell you when it's up and live to watch. So thanks very much for watching. Bye for now. Bye.